is up, ladies and gents? Welcome to the weekly Square Gamers podcast, where two dudes talk video games. And I'm your host, I am Legendary Mike. And today, as always, we got Pedro Maribal. Bro, what the hell is up?
Nothing much, man. Been a smooth week, bro. That's good leading up into a holiday, so.
Yeah, Black Friday, bro, right around the corner. Hope you guys are ready for that shit. Because here at the Square Gamers, we're working on something special for you guys. As you know, we like to give you all the deals. We do all the research for you, so pay attention to the YouTubes and the Facebooks. Pedro and I and another guy from the group, Undead J, we're going to be working on kind of like a Black Friday kind of video where we're going to break down some of the best deals coming out in Black Friday. But by the way, before we get on, Pedro, make sure you look at the Kohl's, guys. Kohl's Black Friday ads already out, Pedro. Make sure you check that out. 47-inch 4K TV for $249, bro. I just heard that from a friend. So
yeah, but that's a doorbuster. I'm gonna try to keep our deals something where you don't have to line up on Thanksgiving Day and give up Thanksgiving dinner to pick up a 47-inch TV.
Okay.
I can guarantee you that all of our deals will not be doorbusters, because to me doorbusters ruin holidays like Thanksgiving, where you should be with your family and not out shopping.
I agree with you there. But before you get into today's little episode, guys, we talked about Skyrim Special Edition or Remastered a couple weeks ago. I want to give you guys a little heads up. I ended up getting it. I battled my brains and my gut for a couple days, ended up getting it. And for you guys who are Skyrim fans, go ahead and rent it. And I'm going to say that right now because it is a hell of a game. And it always will be. And the mods make it better. So make sure you guys check that out. But speaking of, video games that had their problems at the beginning, Watch Dogs, bro. Watch Dogs released with problems. Now, I don't know if you guys know, but Watch Dogs released this week. And they promised multiplayer, and yet again, another fucking game company puts out a game with content locked out because of problems. Now, there's articles all over Kotaku and other places where basically these motherfuckers knew, Pedro, that the game had problems. People who were sent review copies told them multiplayer isn't working. So they shut it down and put the game out on time, which is okay. But they didn't tell anyone until the masses got their hands onto it. How do you feel about this? Because it irritates the shit out of me, because as gamers, we buy games. Now, coming from my perspective, I buy a game. I buy Watch Dogs and it had a problem. I buy Watch Dogs 2. It has another problem. The back of my mind is, you know what? I'm never fucking buying another Watch Dog game on release. I am waiting for the first 3 weeks to go through just to make sure nothing's wrong with the fucking game. Because I am not spending $60 on a game and try to return it because the game's broken. Steam users, I don't know if you guys know, but if you're a Steam user, Steam is giving refunds. So you can go, look guys, this shit ain't working. I want my money back, and Steam will give you a refund. Us console gamers don't have that ability. GameStop look at us and go, what the fuck? It's not our problem. That's Ubisoft's problem. What do you think, Pedro? Are you in the same boat as me, or am I being a little pretentious prick that I always am?
No, I mean, you're absolutely correct. I feel like, first thing, Watch Dogs 1 was very overhyped, and really it was nothing to do after you finished the single-player campaign. So the multiplayer was something that it was definitely needed to keep people playing after the 10 to 15 hour campaign. But I mean, if the multiplayer isn't there really is no reason to purchase this game. I would say just rent it from the Redbox. There really aren't any issues single player wise. They're all multiplayer issues, which is good. If you want to experience the Watch Dogs world, then go ahead and rent it. I wouldn't buy it, especially not for no $60 if the game is half baked. This isn't something that's new. As the great Nate Diaz says, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers. Y'all know this shit was coming. It's coming from Ubisoft. It's coming from the same publisher that put out that Assassin's Creed game that is still being heralded as probably the most half-baked game to come out this generation. I'm not surprised, man. Y'all out here, just in shock that this could happen again. I mean, this is Ubisoft we're talking about.
Yes, people are saying, bro, Ubisoft gonna Ubisoft, bro. So
yeah, that's
it. This is funny. Like, come on, Ubisoft, pay attention to what people are saying. If you're getting a bad rep, you're only gonna fuck yourself over. Like,
well,
fix this shit.
They have the rep already. That's the thing. Is the rep is already there.
But people are still buying it though.
I mean,
people are still buying it. People are still buying their fucking shitty shit.
Yeah, but Watch Dogs was a good single player game. But
well, yeah, of course.
It just needed a multiplayer aspect, and the fact that multiplayer is not there, that means guess what? I'm spending my $3 on the Red Box and playing it for one night, and if I like it, I'll play another night, spend a total of $6, and call it a day, bro. Yeah. And guess who's not getting that money? Ubisoft.
Red boxes, yeah. I mean, I totally agree with that, and that's how we need to fix this. We preach that, we need to vote with our wallet. But, I mean, we can say it, but if we don't do it, we don't do it. Pedro brings up a good point. Rent it from the Red Box. Ubisoft doesn't get any money. And, I mean, I'm not saying this, just to be, or just to sound like a negative asshole, but at the end of the day, we're paying $60 for these games. And if you look at, the games list from this year, how many games were actually full games? Like, how many games were fucking, like we said, half-baked or half-done or had so many problems? Watch Dogs 1, for instance, fucking didn't run on the PC. Like, you know what I mean? They put the game out, and you put it out on PC on the same time, at the same day, and PC has problems, but the console doesn't. You see what I'm saying? Like,
same thing with Batman.
Yeah, same thing with Batman. So, I mean, yeah, Ubisoft, learn from your mistakes. Like, we've been on this big Titanfall 2, huge Titanfall 2 trip all over the internets about Titanfall 2, how awesome it was. Guys, Ubisoft, look at Respawn. Titanfall 1 was an amazing game. It had a lot of flaws, and you know what Respawn did? It said, okay, look, guys, this is what they're saying. No campaign, not enough content, not enough maps, boring, not enough game modes, boring game modes. What did they do? They fixed every single one on the list. You understand what I'm saying? Like, as the game, as gaming gets better and more advanced, the publishers and creators need to do the same. They need to be able to give me $60 worth of game, and that's it.
To be fair, Titanfall 1 was a good game. It wasn't a great game because it wasn't a fully fleshed out game to come out to begin with. The same thing with Destiny and a lot of other games. I mean, this is something that's just another one to add to that list of games that just they're not done yet.
It's sad.
They frankly shouldn't have been out. But, I mean, I guess Ubisoft just needed that big AAA title, and Watch Dogs was supposed to take that mantle. The problem is, I mean, when you promise multiplayer and then you don't deliver on multiplayer, but then you don't let gamers know ahead of time, man. They knew ahead of time this was a problem. That's the biggest issue I have with this is if you know there's a problem ahead of time, get out in front of it. Let the gamers know, look, multiplayer isn't there yet. Single player is ready to go. We're shipping you with single player. Multiplayer be out within the next 60 days or so. We just want to make sure it's right. Give the gamer an opportunity to say, you know what, in good faith, I'm going to keep my pre-order, or I don't trust these motherfuckers. I'm taking my pre-order. I'm taking my $5 and moving it to a different game. But don't bamboozle a customer like you've been bamboozling them, man. That's just bad business.
Yeah, bro. I totally agree. It's like having an animal in a cage, bro. You don't give them an option to get out, then rubs them the wrong way. This is the way it leaves a bad taste in my mouth. But we're gonna move on, Pedro, into the better news. Now, there's been tons of talk here among the Square Gamers Facebook groups /Square Gamers. Guys, go there, check it out. We talked about the Nintendo Switch. We've been talking about it for the last couple weeks. Pedro, are you looking at this price point, bro? You want to hit them with the price point?
$250.
$250, bro. This is.
I mean, they say that's the base unit. I don't really know what base unit means. So I mean that still needs to be a little bit elaborated a little bit more.
I'm calling it, bro. Did you remember my off the wall prediction on the Nintendo Switch? Do you remember sold separately? The actual the dock would be sold separately compared to the actual controller or the screen.
That would make no sense though.
Well, I mean, look at it, bro. At $250,
to make this a home controller.
At $250, just for the tablet system, is worth it. Am I right or am I wrong? At $250
just for the tablet system, it's
yes.
the same price as you can get an Nvidia Shield. So I guess it's worth it.
Yeah. See, I mean, I'm just trying to look at it from that perspective, because I'm pretty sure there are other people out there looking at it from that perspective as well. For $250, the actual tablet, the actual system, is a great deal. You also got to remember, Pedro, the actual Switch, the actual screen has the back flip that allows you to stand it up. So I don't know. I mean,
okay. So it looks like what it is they're gonna sell just the base for $250, and then for $300 they'll sell it to you with a game
with the dock. Which I'm sorry, at $300,
the dock. They're saying it just with the game. That dock, I think, is gonna be that dock has to be in the base part of the system. There's no way that you're gonna sell a home console without the part that makes it a home console, bro. That's doesn't make sense.
I haven't gave up on my prediction. I'm still holding there. Because knowing Nintendo, they're gonna aim portable first.
It doesn't make sense for you to have. So then it shouldn't be called a Switch.
Hey Pedro. When has Nintendo ever done anything that fucking makes sense?
My God, bro. You know what? I'm gonna let you try to bamboozle the listeners into thinking that this could be two separate parts. But I'm gonna tell you right now, that's one whole thing.
I'm talking shit, bro. I have to.
And if they don't, I'm telling you, if they sell just the Switch, and then I gotta pay another $50 for the part that connects to the TV, bro, for the little docking station. Oh my God, that's it. They've lost my business. So there's absolutely no reason for that. You can't call it the Nintendo Switch and then not include the part that makes it switch into a home console in the main bundle. That just makes no sense to me, dog. Does it?
All right, guys. Let's stop it there. I'm ranting and no one's taking the bait. But we're gonna go right on to other money news. Microsoft Xbox One S is creeping up on the PS4, bro. For what, the third month in a row, Xbox One sales has surpassed the PS4 in the US. This is exciting.
3 months in a row in the US, looks like 4 months in a row in the UK and Australia. I mean, this is something that if you just look at the sheer numbers of the PlayStation, you're not going to have that many people owning a PlayStation to then purchase another PlayStation. It just doesn't happen. Even with the Pro coming out, I hear they did get a nice little boost when the Pro came out earlier this month. So in November, the PlayStation may retake the lead, not the lead. I may actually take that month in terms of console sales. But I mean, this is to be expected. You can't have like 300 million people own a console and then
of course.
million. Oh my God, almost 100 million people own the console, and then and then expect them to go and get the slim version of the same console they have. They're going to go Xbox. Xbox been providing people with a great customer value. The games that have been coming out lately have been top notch. You don't hear too much about how their first party lineup is weak. To the contrary,
No.
to be honest with you.
Fucking Gears of War 4, bro.
Yeah, man. I mean, Windows 10 has done wonders for the Xbox One. Software backwards compatibility has always been nice. They got a nice boost by having the entire Mass Effect lineup coming to backwards compatible. Actually, that's available now. So yeah, being able to be played in on your Xbox One. I mean, it's, right now, that's the console to get. If you don't have a console yet, I would go Xbox over PlayStation at this very moment.
Well, yeah, I mean, I kind of agree. Having the PS4 and then, Xbox is a great console. I've always been an Xbox fan, but the Xbox One S is a hell of a deal for what you're paying for it. And looking at some of the Black Friday deals coming up, Xbox One would be a freaking steal. Granted, both consoles.
Hell yeah.
Both consoles have great bundles coming out this Black Friday, which make sure you guys check that video and other good stuff we're gonna be doing about that. But yeah, I just lost track of mine. But anyway, they both have really good bundles. But the Xbox One, I believe, might sell a little bit better because of the Gears of War 4 bundle that they're going to be putting out. Because that's going to be sick. For what you get for the Gears of War bundle, which if I remember correctly, Pedro, it was what, $399 for the 1 terabyte hard drive and the fancy console, correct?
Yeah, man, but you're sleeping on the one thing that Microsoft has that they have yet to pull out and are beginning to, and that's Minecraft, man. I mean, if you got somebody that loves watching, if you got a kid that loves watching Minecraft videos online, all of a sudden you go and you see for $250 an Xbox One S with Minecraft in it, you're copping that game, and that's a person that's gonna swear by Xbox for the next couple years.
You also,
because that's what their parents bought them.
Coming from that perspective, yes, I see it because my kids love Minecraft. I remember when it first came out for the Xbox One, and I copped it. I remember my oldest daughter ended up playing it for 3.5 hours that morning, and before I realized, I'm like, holy shit, you've been playing for like 3.5, 4 hours, girl. You need to get off, or else mommy's gonna freaking flip a shit. And she looked at me and laughed and said, just give me a minute, I'm finished building this. And that ended up turning into an hour. So to be able to get a kids to play a game like that to where they're thinking is a good idea too. I mean, because I know you're not into Minecraft. There's probably not a lot of people into Minecraft anymore, but that kind of big open sandbox allows a kid to let their mind run wild and have a good time. Makes them a little more creative too, because they have to think, which a lot of people don't do very much anymore. But we're going to move on, Pedro. We are moving on to the biggest news of the week. Well, it will be for the next couple weeks. The Game Awards is coming up December 1st, Thursday to December 1st.
It's 2 weeks from now.
Mm-hmm. Yes, 2 weeks from now. Correct. Nominees went up. Now, I have some issues with the list, but we're not going to go through every category. We would be here for a couple hours doing that. But we're going to touch on probably the biggest categories we feel like. First off, Game of the Year. These are the nominees, guys. Excuse me. Doom, Inside, Titanfall 2, Overwatch, and Uncharted 4. Pedro, what are you thinking?
Uncharted 4, hands down, man. I mean, this is tailor-made for Uncharted 4. You don't have a Gears of War 4 on here. There's no Mafia, which I think is a great game. That should have been at least spoken about. Inside is probably going to be the next closest game. Is going to be Inside. Titanfall 2 doesn't deserve to be on this list, even though it's great. Overwatch is a little bit as overhyped, in my opinion.
Oh,
Not a Game of the Year contender. Um, Definitely a great game, just not a game of the year contender. There's no Battlefield 1, which should be on here. Doom also deserves a spot on here because it was a surprisingly great game.
Yes.
So, I mean, what a game that sticks out to me that's not on here is Dark Souls. I guess a lot of people don't. Either the people that chose the games just aren't Dark Souls fans, or
Well,
what,
I mean, we'll talk about that a little later in the show because if you guys don't know, I'm a huge Soul game kind of guy. But I'll give you my little breakdown. I agree with Pedro. Uncharted 4 will win. I feel like it will win. I don't agree with I agree with you with Titanfall 2. I don't think it should be up there. It is a great game. Inside, didn't play it. I hear it's an amazing game.
Inside might win it, bro. Inside might win it because I mean a lot of people. I mean that game was getting like 10s and almost perfect scores because of just the narrative, the art direction, the sound. That game has it all.
Exactly.
It's not a game for me, but the game has it all for people who enjoy that genre. And I mean, for the game critics, that might be what'll do it for them.
Yeah, because the way I look at it, especially for Game of the Year, something so broad, it has to have all facets of gaming. Doom is a shooter, but it's a story-based shooter. So I can understand why that's on there. And Doom was a great game. Inside, I didn't play.
Brings back nostalgia, bro.
Inside here was amazing. They hit all marks. Titanfall 2, the best multiplayer experience, first-person shooter I've had in a long time. Overwatch, I played a little bit of it. I enjoyed it. But Overwatch is nothing but multiplayer. That's all it has going for it. That's what keeps that game going. That's what keeps that game selling. Granted, they do a hell of a job at it. I don't think it deserves to be there for that reason. It's solely people buy it for multiplayer and multiplayer only. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's a very shallow game. It's one-purpose game. It's a multiplayer game. Uncharted 4, on the other hand, I didn't play it, but from what I read and what Undead Jay from the Square Gamers and the Square Gamers themselves talk about Uncharted 4 deserves to be here. But I do think Uncharted 4 is going to win it for not only for the simple reason of Naughty Dog's narrative and gameplay and immersion that they include into their games. It is the ending of that character. That moment right there is big enough to propel a game to the Game of the Year because of how they did it. So that's what we're thinking. Okay, best studio, guys. I don't remember this being on actually last year's Game Awards. Was it, Pedro? Best studio?
I didn't watch last year's Game Awards, so I don't know.
Okay, guys. So this is who they have: Blizzard, Naughty Dog, DICE, Respawn, and ID Software, guys who make Doom. Now, as far as best studio, Blizzard's always good, and I would hate to say, they don't deserve to be on the list because they do, because they make awesome games. Same thing with Naughty Dog. DICE shouldn't be there. They're fucking Battlefield. Battlefield 1 was great, but how good was Battlefield Hardline and Battlefield 4? We talked about it. Last time we had a good time with Battlefield was freaking Bad Company 2, and that was like a decade ago. I don't agree.
Yeah, man, but you can't judge people on their past though. It's 2016, bro. What have they done in 2016?
Battlefield
1 apparently is one of the best war simulators that you can buy of all time if you speak to certain people, because it puts you into the horrors that was World War I. So they definitely do deserve to be on there. And before you start saying, "Oh, well, we haven't had fun with a DICE game in years," this 2016. Let's talk about what they've done this year. Let's not talk about their body of work as a whole, because this isn't as a whole. This is 2016 this year. So let's keep it within that, just within that realm.
Okay, so knowing that, me biting my tongue. Looking at the list with Respawn and ID following up after DICE, guys, Blizzard, to me, wins it because of Overwatch, because of League of Legends, or World of Warcraft Legion, which a lot of people don't realize that that expansion came out this year. but their subscriber rate doubled when that came out. Hearthstone, those 3 games right there are top tier right now. So I would have to go with Blizzard. Granted, Respawn did a hell of a job creating Titanfall 2 this year and releasing it in, having EA release it in a shitty area, shitty time frame. Respawn does have a fair swing considering what they produced. ID Software, Doom, way out of left field. No one was expecting to be as good as it is. I'm glad they're there. So, but, I think Blizzard. What are you thinking? Are you going for Naughty Dog?
I'm going id. Id Software, I think, is what I'm gonna go with. I don't think they're going to win. I think it's either gonna be a Blizzard or a Naughty Dog. I think what Naughty Dog did with Uncharted 4 was nothing short of a masterpiece. Respawn being there is a great thing, speaks volumes about what they've done with Titanfall. But to be honest with you, man, that Titanfall series has fallen short. The first game, like you said, just wasn't, like we said before, wasn't up to snuff when it first came out. This one in 2016, great game, bad timing. It speaks wonders in terms of who they are as a team, but their games just don't succeed. So I just don't see them winning, unfortunately.
So you're going with id?
I gotta go with id because it brings the nostalgia factor back. Who would have thought that a Doom game would be good in 2016? It proved everybody wrong, and I like them for best studio.
And by the way, guys, before we go on to the next topic, Doom will be on sale this Black Friday. I don't know if we probably won't mention it in the vid, so I'm going to mention it now so you guys know. Doom will be on sale $30 at Target, I believe, and as well as GameStop. So make sure you guys check that out if you want to try this game out, because this game is amazing. To what I've read,
definitely worth the $30.
Exactly. But we're gonna go on. Okay, now I typically tend not to agree with this next one, but we have to talk about it because it's legit. That's where a lot of people spend, non gamers or casual gamers spend a lot of their time, handhelds / mobile. Now, I don't like how they combined mobile games as in phone games and handheld games like 3DS, PS4 or PS Vita, but they added them together. And this is the nominees: Clash Royale, which is that click war game, Fire Emblem Fates, Monster Hunter Freedom, Pokemon Go, and Severed. Playing all of these games, the one thing I will say, and I hate to say it, Fire Emblem's Fate will be my game. I bought that game on release day. I fucking played that game, the hell out of that game, Pedro. I don't know if, just so for listeners who don't know, Fire Emblem Fates came out I want to say end of last year, beginning of this year. And basically 2 games released: Fire Emblem Fates Birthright and Fire Emblem Fates Conquest. 2 different games, well, the same game, but 2 different storylines. Then basically, a month later, they released a 3rd storyline for the players who want it more. Now, this game was amazing. I ended up buying 2 out of the 3 and loved it. But being on the same list as Pokemon Go, I can only pray that people enjoy Fire Emblem Fates more than they do Pokemon Go. Granted, Pokemon Go was fucking huge when it came out, and it's still huge because I go to the park right out here by me, guys, Crane's Roost, and I'm seeing everyone on their fucking phones. I can hear Pokemon Go going on their phones. People are playing it, so I can see why they added this to the list. But it completely, I feel like it ruined the category, considering you got great games like Fire Emblem Fates and Monster Hunter Freedom, which are both amazing games, are getting drowned out by Pokemon Go. What do you think, Pedro? Do you agree with me? Because I know you don't play handheld games at all.
If Pokemon Go doesn't win, it'd be a travesty since it did take over most of the summertime. I just don't. I mean, well, let me not say it. Well, it'll be a travesty. I think that Pokemon Go should win because it did take over the zeitgeist of the gaming community for what
3 or 4 months.
4 months at least
Yeah.
of just gamers in the summertime playing in the Florida heat.
95
Uh, a,
degrees.
yeah, a game where you walk around and catch stuff. I mean, you got that game got gamers walking outside again to hit that nostalgia button that I was talking about with id and Doom. If it does not win, that's just the gaming insiders kind of giving mobile gaming the finger because it's on a cell phone. That game goes to the Nintendo Switch, and I think it cleans house.
Oh yeah, of
Or
course.
even a 3DS. But since it is a mobile game, I think they give it the finger, and a game like Severed for the PS Vita wins instead.
Severed. I played it on the Vita. It's a great game. They add the touchpad in the back to it. It was free game on PlayStation Plus or PlayStation Plus membership for the Vita for a month. I want to say 4 or 5 months ago. So I mean, it's a great game, but I don't know. I see either Fire Emblem Fates. I'll really wish Fire Emblem Fates would win because I mean that team deserves a pat on the back for the game they created. Moving on next category, best action game. Okay, we got Doom, Battlefield 1, Overwatch, and Gears 4. Now, granted, freaking Titanfall, Overwatch, Doom, Battlefield 1 are in multiple categories. I say Gears of War 4 takes this title, bro. And the reason why I say that is not only is Gears 4 a great game from both perspectives, campaign and multiplayer, the action is probably the most action-packed and most fulfilling out of all those games. Correct? Did I hit the mark on that one, Joe? Because
Yeah, it's a return to form. I don't see how Gears loses this one. Like you said, it's the most complete out of any of them there. Yeah, I'll go Gears 4. I think Gears 4 gets some love in this packed division. Actually, I mean, if you look at this award, I mean, it's got to beat a monster in Doom, Battlefield 1, Overwatch, and Titanfall 2.
yeah, it's got good competition.
Man, I mean, I'm looking here, man. Call of Duty's not on here.
Good.
And I mean, that's just got to be in the critics thought that game sucked. Because usually that's on here as well.
Yes.
But I mean, it's not better than Doom, Battlefield 1, Overwatch, Titanfall 2, or Gears 4. That's saying something.
I think a reason why Call of Duty isn't on here, guys, just my opinion, IMO. Titanfall 2, or not Titanfall 2, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, like some of the guys in the group say, did not reinvent their first-person shooter at all. So,
Doesn't need to, though.
Yeah,
it just
but
needs to be good.
Yeah, but you and I both know at the end of the day, the biggest reason why Battlefield 1's on is as good as it is because they actually took a chance, went back in time, and made a good first-person shooter, and people fell in love with it because of that reason. You understand what I'm saying? Like, the last, 5 years, it's been, advanced warfare or, technology warfare. The last time there's been, like, an actual older style first-person shooter was Call of Duty World at War, and then what was the other one, Pedro? Wasn't there another one after that one?
Black Ops, when they went to Vietnam.
So, people were probably itching for that. And Call of Duty was trying to put out another game like the previous one. So, I don't know. I'm glad it's not on the list for the simple reason that Call of Duty needs to step up their game. That's all. Best action game. Now, or best action adventure game, I should say. Now, Uncharted is on the list again. They're on that list, 3, 4 times this year, which is great. Give Naughty Dog some praise, but they're up against Dishonored 2, which I hear is a great game. Hitman, Ratchet and Clank, and Hyperlight Drifter. Now, Hyperlight Drifter, what the hell are you doing here? Like, I know it's a great game, and I didn't think people liked it as much as they did, but apparently it's like award-winning, like, quality. I'm gonna have to go out and play this right now. What do you think, Pedro? I'm thinking Dishonored 2.
I'm gonna go with Uncharted, man. I don't think Uncharted loses. I think Uncharted hits like an Oscar sweep and sweeps everything that they're in right now, all the awards. I'm going Uncharted 2, keeping it short and sweet so we can move on.
Okay, best role-playing game, guys. Dark Souls 3, Deus Ex Mankind Divided, Witcher 3, Wild Hunt, which is Blood and Wine, the DLC, World of Warcraft Legion, and Xenoblade Chronicles X. Now, I would love to say Dark Souls 3 is going to win, but Dark Souls 3 is a great game, but it has its problems. Dark Souls hasn't been as good as the original, so I don't think that was winning. What I do think is going to win is World of Warcraft Legion.
Yeah, I agree.
You agree?
Yeah. Deus Ex, close second.
I like that. Okay, best multiplayer. Now, this is the one category that I'm hands down going to say who's going to win. And without a doubt, Rainbow Six Siege, Overwatch, Overcooked, Gears of War 4, Battlefield 1, and Titanfall 2. I'm pretty sure you guys can already know what I'm going to say. Titanfall 2 won't win Game of the Year. It won't win Best Action Game. But I do feel like it has a hell of a chance at winning Best of Multiplayer. Titanfall 2. Pedro, what do you think?
Titanfall 2 has great multiplayer. Not enough people playing it. Won't win Best Multiplayer. I'm going to give it to Gears of War 4. Horde mode.
Uh-oh. Looks like we got a little bit of competition. Gears of War 4 is a great game. I can't knock you that. But guys, that has been the nominees. Make sure you write down your nominees down in the Facebook group /The Square Gamers. Let us know what you think. Make sure you go to our YouTube channel, The Square Gamers. Make sure you go to Twitch. We got Undead J streaming Overwatch the last couple days for like 4 or 5 hours. You guys want to check that game out, make sure you go there. Pedro, hit the plugs. Anything else we need plugged?
That's it. But for the record, Undead J does really enjoy Overwatch and probably disagrees and thinks that Overwatch may just sweep Best Action Game, Game of the Year, and Best Multiplayer. So if you agree with him, hit him up on the Facebook group and let him know we're both idiots and he knows what he's talking about.
Well, guys, this has been a Square Gamers podcast, and we will see you guys next week. Peace out.
Peace.